the next component is account receivable accounting. Actually, whatever the activities we have done for the vendor in the account payable accounting, so now we are going to do the same activities for our customer in the account receivable accounting. The only difference is in the vendor or in the account payable accounting, we created the vendor. Here we will be creating the customer. In the account payable accounting, we used to create the purchase invoice. We used to make the outgoing payment. Here we will be creating the sales invoice. We will be creating the incoming payment. So the activities are same, but the difference is we will be doing it for the different account type. So it is saying that this account receivable component we will be using to record and process the business transaction for your customer from to whom you are going to sell your goods or services. We can design the balance confirmation, statement of account, other kind of correspondence the way we have for the vendor, same way we can use it for our customer. Nothing like there is no difference in that. So these are called the sub ledger and maintained on the principle of subsidiary ledger. So you have seen in the account payable accounting also, we maintain two types of account. We maintain the sub ledger account and main account. Main account are also known as reconciliation account. So sub-ledgers are nothing but your vendors. In vendors account, you do the posting, and those posting will also update your reconciliation account. So the same thing you are going to see in the account receivable accounting. Here also we will be maintaining two accounts, one sub-ledger account and one reconciliation account. Sub-ledger for whom? Sub-ledger for the customers, and then the second main account will be maintaining the reconciliation. So whatever the transactions you will be doing for your customer, so those business transactions will also updated in your reconciliation account. So that is a functionality we also have in the account receivable accounting. Here we will be creating the customer account, and for that customer account we will be creating customer master data. So for this custom master data, it is saying that whatever the information we are maintaining in the master data, so based on that information, system is going to process your customer business transaction. So whatever the information you maintain in the customer master data, so you have seen in the vendor master data like the terms of payment, like the payment method. So what are these? These are the values we maintain in the master data. So whatever the information we maintain, that information system is going to is going to treat as a default. So every time when we'll be making the transaction, system is going to pick the same set of information. So when we talk about the master data means it is going to be a kind of a static data, whereas your transaction data is a dynamic data. So with every transaction, the information will be different. So in the vendor master data, we have seen we have the three segment. We have the general data, company good and data and purchase data. In the customer master data, we have three segment. So we have the general data, company good data. So first two segments are same. The last segment in place of this purchase data will be using the sales data for our customer master data. Then in the general data, what kind of information we maintain for the customer. So we'll be maintaining the generic information which will be applicable to all the legal entities of your group or to all the company codes of your group. So for example, the name of your vendor, address, contact detail. So this is the information we maintain at which level? At a client level. When I'm saying that any information is maintained at a client level, it means it is applicable to all the company codes of your group. Then company code data means company code specific. It is maintained for the company code like India or like UK or US or China or Australia. So for example, we have the payment method. So the payment method which we are using for the same vendor in US may be different. We have for the same vendor in when we are doing the transaction in country India or in the company code India, and the same payment method or for the same vendor for the same customer we may be using a different payment method for Australia company code. Same way we have the terms of payment. The terms of payment we have for the same vendor we have in India may be different from the terms of payment for the same vendor we have in US. So it is saying that third type of data it is to be maintained by the sales department of the company. It is maintained by the SD consultant if any kind of help is required. So that is to be taken care of by the SD consultant. So what type of information we maintain in that? So mostly we maintain here the order probability, pricing procedure, SD pricing procedure. SD pricing procedure means how the tax will be calculated, a gross value, net value, or rebate, discount. So such kind of component we need to maintain in the invoice, and for that we will be using the SD pricing procedure. And the way you have created your vendor account group, same way you will be creating your customer account group. Similar type of customer you will group together. So for example, you have the domestic customer, you have the foreign customer. So based on these two categories, you can make the account group. And at account group level, what are the two things we can do? We can provide the customer number range, and then the second thing is we can decide the field to be maintained as suppress, required, optional, or display. So these are the two control we have at which level at a customer account group level. So now we will go into the system and we will start doing the practice. So I'll start with the step number one. You can just open the practice sheet and you can just see we have the step number one in the account receivable accounting, under which we need to create the customer account group. And again, for that, we have been given the path. We have also the transaction code, so we can use either one. So let's go into the system. We are working for the company code 2244. So we can run this transaction code OBD2, enter. And you can just see we have been given already 80 account groups. Okay, so based on your given account group you can create the new one. You can take the reference from your given one. If you want to see the information we have for each of our customer account group, you can go to the standard one, that is 000100. Double click on this 0001, and you can just see we need to only provide the ID, and then we need to give the description. So we can go back, click on the new entry button. We need to give the customer account group ID, which we can maintain up to how many characters. The length we can maintain up to the 4 character. So let's have here the ID as 2244. What is this? This is the customer account group ID, and this is the description. And then we can go down. You can just see we have discussed that at a account group level we can do two things. What are these two things we can do at a customer account group level? First is the numbering, second is the field status. You can just see here we have been given a section of field status. So because we are creating here the account group, customer account group, so system is saying that you can control at this point of time the fields which we maintain in the customer master data. So what type of fields we maintain for the customer in the master data? So we can cover those fields under these three categories. Under these three segments, we have the general data, company code data, and sales data. If you want to find out the fields we have under the general data, double click on this. Those fields system has managed under these groups. You can go to the relevant group. So for example, if you want to go to the address, you can just see we have these many fields, and these are we have on the page number one. If you want to move to the page number two, three, then you need to click on this navigation, or you can just click on this next page button. It will take you to the next page or fields we have on the next page. Now you can also go back, and any field which you want to make it as suppress, record, optional, display, so you can do that. Then we can come out of here. We can go to the second segment, that is the company code segment. So if you remember in the account payable accounting, we have created the reconciliation account. What is a reconciliation account? What is the relevance of it? So we have already discussed the account payable accounting. Okay, so the reconciliation account we will be creating for the customer as well, and for that we will make this reconciliation account field mandatory in the customer master data. What does it mean? It means that if I will be trying to create any customer, or if any user is creating any customer, and he is not providing the reconciliation account number in the customer master data, then system will not allow that user to create the customer. So it will stop the user to create the customer. Why? Because the reconciliation account was missing. So why that error is coming? Because we are now making this reconciliation field as a mandatory option. So we can just click on the save option and then press enter button, and then we can go to the next step. You can just see the next step is related to the number range. So once again, I am repeating, at a account group level, we control two things. One is the customer number range, and second is the field status. So field status we have already maintained. Okay. Now for this customer account group, now what is the second thing? We need to maintain the customer number range. So for example, I have two uh, customer account group, domestic and vendor. So for the domestic, I want to provide the customer number range. So how I will be able to do it? For that, we have step number 2, transaction code is XDN1. So let's use transaction code XDN1 and then click on the change interval button. Because in the display interval, it will not allow you to add any number range. Now go back and go to the change number range interval, and here we need to add a new interval. And also, if the system you have so many number ranges already in the system, and you are getting the challenges while creating a new number range, so nothing to worry, you can use your existing number ranges also. So normally we use 01, 02, 03, 05. So these are normal one. And here if you want to create a new number range, then two things you need to make sure. One, this number range, you can just see two-digit number range, so this should not be repeating in the system. So for example, if I have already 11 in the system, and again I'm trying to create a 11 number range, okay, new number range with the same ID 11, then system will not allow me to add the same number range. Why? Because already it exists in the system. The second thing you need to make sure, that is the interval. Okay, so whatever the interval you have given, and the new interval should not overlap your any of your existing interval, otherwise system will give you the error while you are going to maintain the number range. So these are two things we need to make sure, and after that we can add and we can assign that number range to our customer account group. So here we can just go down, because I have like less number of number ranges, so I can create the new one. And let's have here this number range. You can just see we have the number range 100,000 to like 1999, but till the 100 190. So we have already the customer in the system. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to make it as 100,000 to 290, and I will press enter button, save it, and then enter. And then what I can do, I can just copy the same number, click on the new number range. So I need to give a unique ID. Okay, so the unique ID I will be giving as 2C, and then here we'll have the number range starting from 100 291 to 100 300. Okay, enter, save, and this 2C ID which we have maintained for our customer number range, so we are going to assign to our customer account group. That is the step 3. We have assign the number range to your customer account group, and this can be done through the transaction code OBAR. Let's have this transaction code OBAR. Transaction code is OBAR. Click on position button. What's our customer account group ID? 2244. And what's our number range which we want to get assigned? It is 2C. Enter, save, enter. Then what next we have? So we have the step number 4, where we are creating the GL. Remember, we have created the GL in the account payable accounting also. What are the two GLs we have created in the account payable accounting? One, we have created the raw material consumption GL. Second, we have created the vendor reconciliation account. Here we will be getting, because we are dealing with the customer, so we will be getting the sales account for your customer, and also we will be creating the reconciliation account for our customer. So that reconciliation account which we create for our customer, we call it sundry debtor account. And for the revenue or for the sales account, we can maintain the normal setting. So we need to go to the transaction code FS00, that is for the GL creation, and based on your revenue account number range, you can give the GL number here. So because we maintain the number range for the revenue or for the income, starting number ranges from 300,000 to 39999. So I'm going to maintain the GL number 300,000 for my revenue account, in which company code 2244. Click on the new entry button, and we need to give here the account group as income account group ID is income. Because it is a P&L account, so we can keep the radio button on the P&L, and then we can give the short text long text as sales account. So we are doing the sales to our customer and we are generating the revenue, and then we can go to the next tab. So this is the type and description tab. Go to the control data tab. Again, normal setting, we can select this only balance in local currency, line item display, sort key 001, nothing new. And then we can go to the bank interest tab. Here we can assign the field status group. Because it is a revenue account, we can assign field status group ID as revenue or G01, either one you can assign. So let it be the revenue, and for the revenue we can search for revenue. So it is G029. Enter, save. So this is how we have created the revenue account. Now the next GL which we need to create, it is a reconciliation account for the customer, and this reconciliation account we will be maintaining as a balance sheet account. On the balance sheet, on which side we will keep it? We will keep it on the asset side, because all customer we maintain under the asset side, and the asset account group range is starting from 100,000 to 1999. So between that number range we need to give any number which we can use as a reconciliation account for our customer. So let it be the number as 100, 110. This is the random number I have picked from that number range 100,000 to 19999 for our account group asset. Go to the first tab, type and description, and give the account group as asset. Account group as asset because sundry debtor or our reconciliation account for customer we maintain under account group asset only. Okay, because the number range is wrong. Okay, so for the asset, remember the number range we maintain from 200,000 to 29999, not 100,000. That is for liability. So once again, we can give the correct the number as 200, 110, and here it is to be maintained under the account group, GL account group, asset. Type will be balance sheet. Name will be sundry debtor account, sundry debtor account. Then we can go to the control data tab. Because it is a reconciliation account, so for this we will not select this only balance in local currency, and here we will be giving the account type. So which account type I will be selecting, because I need to maintain it for the customer. So instead of vendor we will be selecting, normally actually in the account payable accounting we select the vendor. Okay, but now we are working in the account receivable accounting, so we will be selecting the account type as customer. Then we need to go down in the account management. We need to select this line item display, sort key 001, and then we can go to the third tab, bank interest tab. Because it is a reconciliation account, we need to press F4 key, select for or search for the reconciliation account ID, field status group ID, which is G067. So search for the G067 reconciliation account, double click on this, select it, press enter button and save it. So this is how we have created the reconciliation account for the customer. Now what next we need to do? It is saying that after this we have the step number 6 where we need to create the customer account. So this is the reconciliation account we have created. Now the next time or in the step number 6 we need to create the sub ledger account, and in the sub ledger account you are going to link your main ledger. Why? So that in that subledger, whatever the transactions which you will be carrying out, those transactions will be also updating your main ledger account. That is the reason. So for the creation of the customer master data for subledger, we have step number 6, transaction code is XD01. When you are trying to create your customer master data, system is going to ask you two things. One, system will ask for the customer account group under which you want to create your customer account. Second, in which company code you want to create that customer or subledger. So you can just see we have the account group field. You need to click on this icon and you need to provide your customer account group ID. Remember the customer account group ID we have maintained for our company code 444. It is 2244 only. Now press enter button. You can just see this is the account group we have created, okay, and this is the number in we have 100, 291 to 100, 300. So you can double click on the account group 444, then you provide your company code ID and then you click on this green button or press enter button. Continue. It will take you to the custom master data where you have multiple tabs. So you can go to the relevant tab, you can provide the information and you can save your customer master record. Why here for your customer it is showing you the field as internal? Because we have opted for the internal number range assignment, and based on that, system is going to give us the customer number. System is going to give us the customer number based on the number range we have assigned to the customer account group. So what number range we have assigned? We have assigned the number range 100, 291 to 300. So based on the number range, whatever the available number, that system is going to assign to this customer to this subledger account. So what is the name of the subledger? So the name of the subledger is, let's say it is Canon printer, and here we can give the address, city, country code, and then you can just see we have been given multiple tabs. Okay, so we are presently on the tab address, then we can also go to the control data, payment transaction, marketing, and so on and so forth. So the important one is the first one, address. Then if any intercompany transaction if you want to do, in that case you need to provide the trading partner. And then if you want to maintain the tax information for your customer, then you can maintain here tax ID. Then you can go to the payment transaction. If you want to maintain the bank details of your customer, you can go to the payment transaction and you can maintain it. So I'm going to give the country as US. Bank key I'm going to take the existing one. So for the country you can use US. You can pick any bank key. So I'm going to take the bank key. This is the second one. Okay. Or let's say we have this one. Okay. Citibank. So that I'm going to take it. And after that we need to provide the bank account number of the customer. So the bank account number of our customer is, I'm going to take it a random number. It is, so I'm going to copy this one, paste it here, and I'm going to make it as 3. Last digit I'm going to maintain as 3. Okay. Then press enter button, and this is the information we have at which level? Journal data level, which is applicable to all the company codes you will in which you will be creating this customer. Now we have the company code segment where we will be having the company code specific information we will be maintaining, like what, like the reconciliation account, and then if you have some other information, authorization or the credit limit for the customer. So this is the information you can maintain at a company code level. So here we need to maintain the reconciliation account, press F4 key, and you can just see the reconciliation account number system is just showing you for it is for 2244 it is 200 110. So assign this number. Then what else we have? So you can go to the payment transaction. If you want to maintain the terms of payment, you can maintain here or you can assign the terms of payment. So let it be the terms of payment as 0001, and then we can save it. Click on the save option. Based on your number in, you can just see system has given you customer number as 100,291. So this is the first customer we have in our company code 2244. And for this customer, now we can carry out our business function. Like what? Like creation of a manual invoice, AR invoice. Then we can process the incoming payment. Then we can see how the clearing will happen. So all those activities we can see now for this customer. It is saying that for the customer data, you can also use these transaction code. So we have XD02 through which you can make the changes in your customer master data. We have XD03 through which you can display your customer information under different segment, journal data, company code data, sales data. Then we have XD04 through which you can display all those changes which anybody has made or you have made. Then if you want to block your customer for the posting, then you can use XD05 and 6 we have for mark for deletion. If you remember the document type you have used for a vendor, DR, DZ, DA, okay, or ZP. So same way we can use the document type for our customer account type. So for the customer, which kind of invoices you want to have? So we want to have the sales invoice, incoming payment, and sales return invoice. So for such kind of document, you want to group them. So for example, all the sales invoices you want to group under a single document type. All the payments, all your outgoing payment, you want to group under a single document type. So for this reason, we can use these standard document types provided by the SAP. So we can use a DR for our customer invoices. We can use document type DZ for our outgoing payment invoices for the customer. And for other customer invoices, we can use document type as DA. So for these document type, we have been already given the number ranges. What we need to do, we need to maintain the interval for these number ranges. So we need to make sure for DR what number range we should have 18, for DZ 14, and for 80 for this document type DA we should have the number range 16. And how to give the interval for that, we can go into a system, and first of all we can use transaction code OBA7. So OBA7 is what? It is to see a list of document type we have in the system. So which document type we need to check it. So we can click on position button. We can search for the document type DR. You can just see DR is what? DR is for your customer invoice. Now you can double click on this. You can just see number and it is showing you 18. So which is matching with the number in we have here in our practice sheet 18. Okay, now what next you need to do, click on the number information button, give your company code ID and go to the change interval. Click on the change interval button. You can just see we have already these number ranges added. Okay, now this time we are going to add one more number range. It is 18 for year 2023, and the last number range we have in the system, it is with the ID. It is with the interval 26 all 0 1 to 26 all 9. So here we can have 27 all 0 1 to 27 all 9. This is the document length, document number length we have maintained 10 digit, and it is starting from 27 all 0 1 to 27 all 9. Save it. Click on the save option. Now the same thing you will be doing for the next document type. We have DZ and DA. So here once again we can search for DA. You can just see DZ is coming. DZ is customer payment, customer incoming payment. Number in you can just see 14. Here in the practice sheet also it is 14. Click on the number in information button. Again give your company code ID. Again go to the change interval, add interval. What interval we need to have here? Sorry, what number range we need to have here? 14. For which year? 2023. So the last interval we have maintained, it is from 27 all 01. Okay, the next one we can have 28 all 01 to 28 all 9. Enter, save, and again enter. Then number range we have for this DR and DZ, and the same thing we can do for DA. And for the DA, what number range we should have? 16. So go back, search for the document type DA. DA, this is the customer document. Double click on this. You can just see the number and it is showing you 16. If some different number is coming, then manually you can enter and save it. Now you can click on the number information button, give the company code ID, change interval, add interval. What number range we need to have here? 16. For which year? 2023. And we need to have the number range. It is the interval we can maintain 290012, 2909. Enter, save, enter. So we have maintained the number ranges for these three document type DR, DZ and DA. Now what next we need to do? So we need to now start posting the invoice. So which kind of invoice this is? This is the sales invoice. We are posting direct sales invoice. Okay. And in order to post a direct sales invoice, we can use transaction code F-22. We can also credit through transaction code FB70. So here we can see the F-22. This is a screen through which you can enter your customer sales invoice. And the second screen is, or the second transaction code through you can do it. It is FB70. FB70. You can also see the difference between the two. Here you can also see you can also post the sales invoice for a customer, but the thing is, you can mention here your customer, you can give the header information, this is the header information, then you can give the GL information or the line item information here, okay, and this is the different screen. So in this, you need to provide the posting keys, okay. Here we don't have the posting key, we only have the debit credit, okay. By default, credit is given, okay, because normally we debit our customer and credit the revenue account, okay. That is the reason. So this is the difference between these two screens. Now I'm trying to enter the data through this F-22. We have two segments, header and line item, for each of our accounting document. So you can just see this is the document header segment and this is the line item. In the header, again, we have the same set of fields, okay, nothing different we have here. But here you can notice, normally we have the document type SAKR for the vendor. Same way for the customer, because you are posting the sales invoice, you will have here the document type DR, okay. Date is, let's say, today's date, and then you can go down. Posting key 01. Posting key we use for which account type? We use it for the account type customer. And with 01 posting key for the customer, what we do? We debit the customer. So here we need to have the customer subledger number. Okay. Remember, you have maintained subledger and main ledger. But here for all your business transaction, you will be using subledger. You will be using your customer number. So press F4 key, find out your customer number. It is 100 291. And for this customer, we are going to record a sale of how much? 26,000. This is as per the terms of payment 0001. This 0001 system is taking from where? From your master data. Remember, we maintain in the master data 0001 terms of payment. Then you can give the text as sales invoice, and 50 posting key we use for which account type? For the GL. So GL we can credit the GL. Which GL we can credit? Revenue. And for the revenue, which GL number we have? If you don't know, press F4 key and you will find out here a revenue account. It is 300,000 sales account. Enter. Now give the 26,000 on the credit side also and text as plus. Now press enter button. Click on this overview button and then you can just see we have the same amount on both sides. Difference is 0. We can post this sales invoice. Click on the save option. You can just see system has posted the sales invoice of 26,000, and this is the number. If you want to see the detail, you go to the menu document display. Go to the menu document display. So this is your document which you have posted. This is your sales document. Okay. Now if you double click on the line item for your vendor, double click on this. Now you can just see this is what, this is your sub ledger. This is what, this is your main ledger. So the posting of 26,000 which you made to your sub ledger 200 291, that has also posted to 200 110 to your reconciliation account. So that is the reason if you see your, when your customer account, it will show you the balance as 26,000. But if you also see the reconciliation account balance, it will show you 26,000. Why? Because the same value system has posted to these two accounts. This is subledger, which we selected manually, and this is reconciliation account, which system has derived from where? System has driven this uh, reconciliation account from your subledger account. And in the subledger account, remember you have assigned this number. That is the reason it is coming. Okay. Now let's see the balance. How we can display the customer account balance. Transaction code is FD10N FD. Okay. So remember FK10N we use for our vendor account balance. So that K will be replaced with the D. Why? Because K account type we use for vendor and D we use for the customer. That is the reason all those transaction code where you were using K for your vendor, now you will be using D for a customer. So we have this FD tenant to check the customer account balance. So we have our customer number 100 291 in the company code 2244 for the year 2023. Click on the execute button. Normally customer will have your debit balance. Okay. So this 26,000 you will find on the debit side, and if you just double click on this, it will show you that same document number you have posted today. So this is the sales invoice you posted today. Now you can go back and you can check your reconciliation account balance as well. How to check the reconciliation account? Because this reconciliation account is a GL account. To check the GL account balance, we have transaction code FS10. So use FS10, and this is your customer reconciliation account number. Click on the execute button. It will show you balance of 26,000. Okay. So why it is coming on the debit side? Because we made a sales and for this incoming payment is pending. So when you will make the incoming payment also, it will start showing you on the credit side. So and balance will come down. Okay. So for example, against this 26,000, you have received 20,000. So the balance payment it will show you 6,000. But if you have received full, then it will show you balance as zero. Okay. That we will also see. It is saying that the way you display the line item for your vendor, same way we can also display the line item for our customer. How? Let's see. We have this step number 9. You can just see the transaction code we have, it is FBL5N. So if you remember, to display the GL line item, which transaction code we use transaction code FBL3N. In order to display the vendor line item, which transaction code we use FBL1N. Now to display the customer line item, we use this FBL5N. So let's use this transaction code FBL5N, enter, and you can just see this is your customer for which you want to display the line item. So which kind of line item you want to get displayed? Only open, only cleared, or all? So all means open and cleared both. So let's select all, click on the execute button. You can just see we have only open item and this is a single line item of 26,000. Why it is coming? Because incoming payment is yet to be posted. That is the reason it is coming with the red. It is coming under the open item. Now in order to clear it, what we need to do, we need to post a incoming payment, and in order to process that incoming payment, we need to go to the step 10 transaction code. We can use F-28. F-28, enter. You can observe here what is the title. In the title, like bar, we can see It is saying that we can post the incoming payment for what? Incoming payment from the customer, and you can observe the document type is DZ. Okay, so all your payments will be managed under the document type DZ. So here we can have the date as 26. We have received the payment from whom? From the customer. What is the customer number? That we can just mention here. Here which number we need to maintain? Bank GL. Bank GL or cash GL in which we have received the money from the customer. How much amount we have received? 26,000 from the customer. And this is what? Payment from the customer. Then we have the customer number 100,291. If you don't know, you can press F4 key, it will show you the list, and from the list you can select the relevant one. Now you can just see this button, process open item. Click on the process open item. So here we can just see 26,000 open invoice we have, and the debit side or credit side, so both are same. So here your debit line item and credit line item, so both are having the same amount. Difference is 0. We can save this invoice. This is what? This is the incoming payment invoice. An incoming payment invoice number, system has given you the document number as 28001. If you want to display it, you can go to the menu document, display. With this posting, system would have updated your customer account balance. System would have updated your reconciliation account balance. And in order to see that, we can first go to the customer line item and we can refresh it. Now you can just see instead of red, we have here two green. So why these two green? So we have first for the invoice, second for the incoming payment. Amount is 2626, and you can just see the clearing system has made it on today's date, and clearing document number is missing. So if you want to add, you can go to the layout. You can pick the clearing document field, add into your layout, then enter. So you can just see the payment document number was 28001, and that has become your clearing document number. Okay, so the next topic we have, it is the partial payment and residual payment. Remember these two types of payment we have also seen, or these two payment method I would say, we have also seen in the account payable accounting for the vendor. Now same payment method we can use for our customer in the account receivable accounting. So partial payment method is what? Partial payment method means, for example, you have a sales invoice of 20,000. Against that sales invoice of 20,000, we have received 11,000. So what is our remaining amount? The remaining amount is 9,000. Okay. So along with your sales invoice line item of 20,000, system is going to add a new line item of 11,000. But nothing will be cleared by system. Then after that, if you have received 2,000, 3,000, so all will be, system will just sum up the amount whatever you have received until unless you have received the entire amount against your sales invoice amount, that is 20,000. So if the sum of your received amount that doesn't equal your sales invoice amount, which is 20,000, so system is going to keep all your incoming payment as a line item as open line item, and when it will be cleared, when will be receiving the final amount. So for example, against a invoice of 20,000, you have received 19,000 in multiple, like in double you have received, and 1,000 is pending. So when you will receive that last payment of 1,000 from the customer, then system is going to clear all your received line item, payment line item, along with your sales line item. Okay, so that is the method we are going to see now, partial payment method. So I'm going to post a sales invoice, and this sales invoice we can post with same transaction code. It is f dash double two. Date is today's date. Customer 291. Amount how much? It is 20,000. You can take any amount. I'm just randomly taken this 20,000, and this is what sales invoice. Sales invoice, credit the 50 posting की credit the revenue account, GL account 300,000. Amount is star text is plus enter amount. We can just click on the overview button, save it. Now see the line item display, refresh. You have a open item of 20,000. Okay. Now against this 20,000, we have received from customer how much? 11,000. So let's have the incoming payment 11,000 on which date? Today's date. In which bank GL we deposited it? We deposited in 200,101. How much we deposit? 11,000. So this is what payment from the customer. Which customer? 291. Enter. So because your invoice amount is 20, you received 11. You have a difference of 9. So with this 9,000, system will not allow you to save this document. So by default, we are on the standard tab because it is a partial payment method we want to treat. We want to use this partial payment method. We need to go to the next tab, partial payment. Double click on this amount 20,000, it will become automatically 11, and you can just see now not assigned amount is 0. So with the 0, we can save this document. Document number system has given you 28002, and you can once again refresh your line item. So we have here 20,000. Along with this, you will also have 11,000 open. Why it is open? Because still we need to receive from the customer 9,000. When we will be receiving 9,000 from the customer, then in that case, this DR and DZ, this 20,000, 11,000, so both will be cleared off. So let's have here the incoming payment of how much? The remaining amount, which is 9,000. Same cash GL. 9,000 is the balance payment which we have received from the customer. This is what payment from the customer, and then enter. Which customer? 10291. So you can just see that because it is a final payment, so we have here the not assigned amount as 0. We don't need to go anywhere, simply you can just save it. And now we can go back. We can once again refresh the line item. So you can just see we don't have any open item, so we have this 20,000, 11,000 and 9,000. Okay, so we can also add clearing document number to see the number system has given to your clearing document. So you can just see it is same as your payment document. Last payment we received from this customer against this invoice, it is 28003. So that has become your clearing document, and this has been mapped to your invoice number, to your incoming payment, your first partial payment, second partial payment. So this is how your partial payment method will work. And what about this residual payment method? So whatever the amount left over. So for example, you have an invoice of 10,000. Against this invoice of 10,000, you have received from the customer 6,000. So 4 will be shown by system as an open item, and this 10,000 will be cleared off by the system. So we can also see this scenario. First, we can create an invoice of 10,000 with transaction code F-22 for your customer, and we have the header, line item, customer number, how much is the amount? 10,000. And this is what sales invoice. 50 we have the posting fee for the revenue account, 300,000. Amount is asterisk, text is plus, press enter button, overview the screen, save. Now once again you can refresh your customer line item, it will show you 10,000 as open. Now we have received some payment from the customer, but this time we want to use residual payment method. And under the residual payment method, we can go again to the transaction code F-28, header information, cash GL or bank GL 200,101. How much payment we have received from him? 6,000. And from which customer we have received this? 10291. Enter. You can just see our invoice amount is 10,000 and how much payment we have received 6,000. So we have a difference of 4,000. With this difference, system will not allow us to do the clearing. So in order to do the clearing, so we have already seen this partial print method. Now we'll see the residual print method for our customer invoice. So once again, you need to double click on the residual item. Whatever the pending amount is 4,000, system will take it here, and this 4,000 in the not assigned will become 0. So here I'm going to double click on this residual item, and you can just see not assigned amount, it is showing you as 0. Since it is 0, we can save this document. You can just see the document number system has given you 28004. With this 28004, what line item impact we can just see? We can just see that 10,000 would have been cleared, and in place of this 10,000 we have now 4,000, that is pending, and this clearing document number system is going to give you. Okay, so let's refresh. So you can just see you have the pending amount or residual amount 4,000 as the open item, 10,000 as cleared item. Okay, now out of this 4,000, if you are receiving 3,000, 1,000 system will be showing you as open, and this 4,000 will come or will be considered by system as a cleared line item. So let's take a incoming payment of 3,000 for the same customer in the bank GL or cash GL 200,101. How much payment you are receiving? 3,000. This is what payment from the customer 291. Still, you can just see you have a difference of 1,000. System will not allow you. What do you need to do? So because you want to get it cleared through residual payment method, so go to the residual tab, double click on the residual item, and then save. So again, this again new payment document number has been given to 28005. Let's refresh, and in the open item system will now start showing you 1,000, and this 4,000 will go to the cleared item. Can you see 28005? So now finally you have received this 1,000. So now this will be also shown by system under the cleared line item. But for that you need to have here the incoming payment of balance amount 1,000 for the same cash GL, same customer. Enter. This time already it is 0. Okay, you don't need to make it as 0. So you can simply click on the save option, check your line item, nothing is open, all cleared. Okay, check your GL account balance FD10N. Sorry, this is the customer account balance. We are checking FD10N. It is showing you zero balance. Why zero balance? Because the sale invoice of 61,000 we received incoming payment of 61,000. That is zero. Nothing is pending. You can also see the reconciliation account balance with FS10N for a customer. It will show you again the same thing. 61,000, 61,000 on the both side. Okay, so this is how we can post the sales invoice, incoming payment, and partial payment method and residual payment method.